Time now for weather with Nebraska Extension ag climatologist and Market Journal chief meteorologist Al Dutcher. Al, the week started off so nice, but then the weather did a complete 180 on us. Give us an idea of what's ahead.
Well, Troy, you're correct. We did see some very warm temperatures early in the week. In fact, we started to see some planting take place in portions of south central and southeast Nebraska, according to local reports. And then yet the blizzard started to move into our region as we got into the midweek period, and it's finally exited our region as we got into early Friday morning. So far, some of the totals that have come in, and these aren't exclusive to Nebraska, as we're only getting what is reported electronically. Best guess is anywhere from 8 to 12 inches on the higher end of the snowfall totals and not as much in the way of significant drifting. Now, I'm sure we're going to see some totals come in much higher than that, but for broad-based coverage, this storm did not perform to the expectations of the models at least 24 hours before the event, and that's a good thing. That means we'll get rid of this snow a little bit quicker, and of course we're getting into that planting season, so we're kind of getting tired of these continual snowstorms. So as we look at today's map, here's that deep upper air trough that is now down in Texas, shooting a ton of moisture up toward the eastern corn belt. This wave last week was projected to impact us like a blizzard, but it's staying to the south of us, so most of the precipitation will remain along the Gulf Coast. Very heavy moisture across Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, and points to the north. And then as we get into the day on Sunday, we'll start to see this system move into the eastern corn belt. Low pressure sits up near northern Ohio. A tremendous feed of moisture coming into this region. We're going to be looking at widespread 1 to 2 inch amounts of precipitation, even higher in some locations. In our region, we'll stay dry as ridging takes place into our region, and that will hold all the way in through the middle of next week as high pressure remains firmly in control. We do see a surface low showing in southwestern Kansas, but there's just not a lot of moisture to feed with as it's being robbed by this system, so only precipitation we see to our west is over the central Rockies. By the time we get into Tuesday, we start to see this trough deepen rather significantly, and the question is, will it lift out into our region or will it remain to the south of us? So a surface low starts to develop in Texas, and that will start to push moisture into our region. The first of the moisture starts to develop over the central Rockies, and then as we go into the day on Thursday, we'll start to see this trough deepen just like the midweek system. Big fetch of moisture bringing moisture right to the north of us, and we have low pressure in eastern Texas. This is a classic setup for heavy precipitation across the central and southern plains. You can see the southern Nebraska is under the gun for heavy moisture, as well as points off to the east. And then that system starts to move past our region as we get in the day on Thursday. We'll start to see an end of the precipitation, particularly in eastern Nebraska. A little bit of residual moisture may be left over in southeast Nebraska as the main core of heavy moisture once again hits those areas impacted by this weekend's storms. And then that system moves off to continue precipitation in the eastern corn belt as we go into the day on Friday. And we can start to see the low pressure starting to exit off the eastern seaboard. That's still going to keep that precipitation in place. We do see a little low pressure system to our north, but once again, it's basically just following the northern jet, and there's no moisture associated with us. And the better news is, as we look at the 8 to 14 day forecast, that cold conditions start to move to our east, and these warmer conditions start to move into our region. And in terms of precipitation, finally start to see a dry forecast. Now, one word of caution. This is in advance of that system coming out of the southwest, and it is not expected to hit us until at least Wednesday, at 10 days out. So we do have an opportunity here at least to get some corn production planted, and hopefully conditions will improve, Troy.